You know that one Albert Einstein quote? The one that says that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Now, this applies to Valorant, and this applies to life and just many other things. Now, I know I've disappeared for a little while, and I have a little announcement at the end, but we'll save that for later. So an argument that I actually hear a lot is about actually doing the same thing over and over, but having that not work and having different results. Because we always like to find safety in things, right? So maybe you're a Jet main, and you always insta-lock Jet, and you have these games where you've dropped 40 kills and had like 2 deaths. But then at the same time, you've also had those 0 and 15 games. Now you might argue that you're doing the same thing, but in reality, at times there are many variables that are just so different, but you only focused on that one aspect. So when it comes to your playstyle or things like that, one thing that you're doing is getting into a little pattern. I've noticed this with myself. I get into a little loop. Sometimes I'll play really well first half, and then I'll use my, first half mentality, whether that be defending or attacking, and then I'll wrongly apply that in the second half, and that will lead to me losing. And then it'll eventually lead to me tilting, because sometimes Valorant is all I have left when things aren't doing the best. So change is important, but at the same time, consistency might actually revolve around it. So the title of the video is Why Valorant is Driving You Insane. And you've been listening to me for around 2 minutes now, and I haven't quite gotten to that. And that's my fault, because I was getting into my own pattern where I make a mistake making a YouTube video. But if you're still here, thank you very much. And just, I want you to think for a minute about every time you've gotten mad at this game. About every time you've had one of those frustrating days where you just can't get a kill. Those days that drive you insane. And the reason it's driving you insane isn't because you're just whiffing. It isn't because you're having a bad day. But it's because it's encouraging you to be a certain way. You know when you have those horrible teammates, those ones that you'll hear me ranting about every stream? Well, when you have those, they're pushing you into yet another cycle. Another cycle of saying, I have a bad team, I have to carry, I have to fill. Like right now I'm watching myself play Omen as my background footage. And I've actually gotten pretty good at Omen lately. But I don't even pick Omen as my first idea. I do it out of necessity. But because I like being offensive still, I can still teleport. And I found a way to compromise. But every time I play Omen and I have one of those bad teams, I can't help but think I should have just picked Duelist. I should have just went Jet. I should have went Yoru. I should have went L Brim to have the full control experience. So maybe this little pattern I got into was the reason that I tilted on a certain day. The other day, I got kind of tilted at the game. I've used that word too many times, but I got upset. I had to rage quit because I couldn't stand how my team was acting and I couldn't stand how I was playing in response. I was making the wrong decisions. My aim was shaky and my head simply just wasn't there. And that sucks and that hurts because that's what I wanted to do. Was I wanted to be good at the game. That's all I wanted to do at that point in time. And yet there I was messing up. So just to get back onto my script, and by script I mean talking points, because I spent far too long being anxious about making this video. One thing that we don't do sometimes is that we don't try new things. And we don't do this because we take the safe option. There's always the safer route. There's always the thing that has worked in the past. For example, right now, I rarely ever buy the Phantom. The Phantom's a great gun, and I have been incredibly good at it before. Every time I play Spike Rush and it's a Phantom round, there's a good chance that I get an ace. I've probably gotten the most aces in Spike Rush from the Phantom out of any other gun. And yet, when I play competitive, I don't use that because in my head, I like to play it safe because I know that if I hit those headshots, the Vandal's the best. And I still think that the Vandal's going to be the best option for me. But sometimes when you can't aim, you just need to pick a Phantom. Or that's at least what my friend has taught me. So why don't we want to try new things? What is the actual problem here? And I think it's that we're afraid, but that is going to be the next video that is on the main channel. And this is something that I'm afraid about because I made this second channel to have a safe place away from the main one, but then I realized I was just fragmenting audiences. And then in reality, being myself here led to me just outgrowing the main channel. So my proof of non-hypocrisy is going to be me migrating all the content to the main channel and a little bit more too. But you'll have to see that in the new video. So thank you very much for listening to this little preachy session. And I hope to see you on the video that's on the middle of your screen right now. Please click on that. I hope to see you there. Viewers of this channel, I am not ditching you. I'll see you around.